welcome back to my video series. This is series 4. We are going to talk about bring back those backup data from the cloud back to on-prem. For those of you who follow my previous series, we already covered about series 1, talk about transferring your backup data from on-prem to the cloud. Series 2, we talk about restoring your on-premise backup data to hyperscaler cloud, either you are running on Azure, GCP, or even AWS. Then on series 3, we talk about using Microsoft Azure to protect those virtual machines and also Azure SQL database. We also cover on restoring the particular backup data as well. For those of you who missed the previous video, please go to the descriptions and refer to the link below to view the previous video. Without further ado, this particular videos, series 4, we are going to look into those backup data on object storage. We would like to bring back those backup data back to on-prem. Let's have a quick look on the architectures, right? As what you already mentioned just previously, you do have a hyperscaler cloud, for example, Azure, AWS, and GCP. Those backup data are already stored into Azure Block Storage, S3, and GCP Cloud Storage as well. You would like to bring this back to on-prem, right? By using Veeam V11a, right? We're able to connect to those object storage and transfer back this particular backup data based on schedule into backup repository which is located on on-prem. Let's have a quick look on how does it really work in our environment. Okay, to make for our life easier to view the whole entire backup policy, I already create a new view called Hyperscaler Cloud. From here, you're able to view that I already configured to backup to AWS, Azure, right, including the latest one to backup the Azure SQL on Microsoft Azure, GCP backup for those virtual machines, and of course the AWS VPC configurations, right? If you go to the external repositories, from here you're able to view this is all the backup stuff which is located on object storage, right? We got Azure VMs, Azure SQL, and then GCP virtual machines, and of course we do have what we call the VPC AWS configuration as well, right? What we are going to do right now is we are going to configure the backup copy job. From here, you're able to select either to transfer the backup data from Azure, GCP, or AWS back to on-prem. In order for you to do this, the only workload that we can transfer back to on-prem will be virtual machine. Okay, only virtual machines you're able to configure to transfer back to on-prem. Let's have a quick look on how to configure this. Okay, we are going to configure the backup copy job Azure to on-prem. We're going to schedule it to transfer every day around 12 a.m. Backup data, select the virtual machines that you want to transfer back to on-prem. Target the locations on-prem, where do you want to put this backup data? So I'm going to put it into SOBR1. Retention policies, you can just define, for example, I just want to keep it for 2 restore point, right? Okay, transfer anytime, click apply, and of course I want to enable this job right now. I click finish. Let's have a quick look on creating for GCP as well, right? So backup copy job, GCP to on-prem. Okay, and of course we do not want to run at the same time, right? So what we're going to do is we are going to configure to transfer around 2 a.m. Okay, select your virtual machines that you want to transfer back. This is the VM. Next, point it back to the same SOBR1. We are going to configure the same restore point. Okay. Once you have configured that, click on backup copy job. From here, you're able to see that right now, we are transferring those backup data from Azure back to on-prem. Okay, the size is around 81 GB, so therefore it will take a bit longer time, depend on the bandwidth that you have, right? So what we are going to do right now is we are going to pause this particular video, and we will resume back once it's finished transferring those virtual machines. Okay, we have completed transfers from the hyperscaler cloud back to on-prem. Right now, if you look at here, for Azure, we already completed transferring the data, right? Then on GCP as well, we already completed as well, right? For AWS, we did the same thing as well, transferring from AWS back to on-prem. If you go back to here, this is the AWS workload. Then let's look into here. So on the backup copy, we will have AWS backup data, Azure backup data, right? From here, if you want to do a recoveries, you can just right click, execute instant recovery to power on as VMware or Hyper-V. You can restore a granular item by using our explorers, or you can restore to EC2, Azure, or even GCP as well, right? Now we have completed transferring those backup data. So that's all for today's sessions. Hopefully you have a clear understanding on how to move those backup data from hyperscaler cloud back to on-premise by using Veeam technology. All right, stay tuned for our next the next video.